In today's video, I'm going to show you how my client Daniel made almost 10k in 9 days and how he's easily going to make a 40k profit month in USD. Very easily with this one cold DM system that I am going to show you in this video. From start to finish, I'll show you it, and then by the end of the video, you can implement it into your own business to make yourself and your setters more money by booking in a lot more calls. The way we do our DM system, everything I'm going to show today, the step by step of everything, it is very different to how people normally do cold DMs. And because we're different, we get different outcomes, which are better outcomes. So please do stick around because I am dropping some crazy value. And you could be just like Daniel, making 10k basically in 9 days. He started sending payments in at 1k. Those were just half payments, quarter payments. He said clockwork. I said, holy shit, 'cause it's good money for a lot of people. So yeah, there's the proof that you need, and let's get straight into the video of how this cold DM system works and how you and your setters can stack up some crazy numbers with doing this. So obviously he used Instagram as his main cold outreach platform, right? And he knew his ICP positioning. This is very important, guys. Like, knowing not just your ICP, like who you're outreaching to, but knowing your positioning is important. So many people say, oh yeah, you need to have good positioning, but they don't even know what positioning is. Like, these are the things that we need to go through before even creating or executing on a DM system. Because when we know these things, the rest of the system, the execution, training the setters, which I'm going to do another video about later on, so stay tuned for that. But this video specifically, even creating your own DM system and implementing it properly, you need the right positioning and the right ICP. So with the ICP, if you outreach, it's a very extreme example, but obviously if you outreach someone who's healthy and you sell like a health program, maybe some people will be interested or will resonate with it, but it's not really a big pain because they're already healthy. But if you targeted someone who is fat with a healthy course or a healthy program, they're going to be more interested because they want to lose weight, and you can attach yourself to that pain. So you need to be very, very, very clear on that and make sure you translate that to your setters properly so they can execute on DMs properly. And then positioning. Positioning isn't your offer. Your offer is like a 1 to 2 sentence thing of like, this is what we deliver. This is the outcome you'll get in X amount of days, weeks, months. And yeah, that's what the offer is. But positioning is the one core idea that you have around your whole business, your whole marketing, the things you say. For me, for example, it's the fact that we make every month bigger than the last for our clients. So there's a compounding effect. For you, it's going to be a different thing. And the way you find your positioning, again, I'm going to make another video on this because the way you charge thousands of pounds is with the right positioning, but it's important to still get positioning because it's what's going to be shown through your DM system, right? Every single step, positioning is going to be basically shining through it, right? Like, a DM system structure can be really good, but what you actually say inside of that structure and how you execute on it to prospects can be absolutely shit just because of the positioning. Then obviously Daniel optimized his profile. This is the final thing he did. He put loads of client results on there, but he didn't just pop up client results. He made sure they were specific client results that spoke to one certain ICP. So that way they felt seen when they read those results. So he killed two birds with one stone there. Because think about it, right? If you have a highlight and you just put a story in showing results, like, people will be like, oh, good result. But then they'll just scroll on because it doesn't attach anything to them. It doesn't resonate with them. And the reason I'm saying this will help your DM system so much is because the profile you use to outreach to people, the better the profile, the higher reply rates you're going to get. And of course, the higher the reply rates, the more conversations you'll have, the more calls you book, the more deals you close, the more revenue you make, right? It's a chain reaction. And you will genuinely, you could get an extra 15, 20, no, not even that. You could get close to 30% positive reply rates just by fixing your Instagram profile, by optimizing it, right? So those are the three things: making sure your highlights, specifically your client results, are good. The reason your bio and your middle of the funnel organic content needs to be very good and very clear is because when you think about it, right, when you outreach to someone, the first thing they're going to do, yes, they'll quickly read your message, but just before they reply, if the message has done well, they will look at your Instagram account, what you post, what you do, how well you're doing, And based off that judgment, they'll either reply or they won't. Or they might even reply, but they don't really want the conversation to go anywhere, which causes friction because they don't like your Instagram profile. It's not very clear on what you're selling. So once you've fully optimized that, it makes your outreaching, even if you have a shit system, a shit outreach message, it makes your outreaching so much easier and it gets you so much better results. Okay. So once you've done them things, all right, we can move on to the actual DM system. Most people, if you've been in the info space for a while, you'll understand. Most people normally just send a Loom video, right? A 4 or 5 minute Loom video. But it's 2026. Like, we don't want to be doing that anymore, right? We don't want to be doing that because every time you speak about you, instead of the prospect you're outreaching to or talking to, they're not going to become interested anymore. Like, the whole, like, Alex Hormozy, the perfect offer, that kind of thing. That was years ago, guys. Like, that's not a thing anymore, right? Now we have to create feelings inside of our prospects to create enough of a feeling to make them want to take action, to book in a call with us, to speak to us, to do whatever. And that's exactly what this DM system does. It doesn't do a crazy amount of volume and send loads of Loom videos. It's very different. And that's why we generate different and better results, right? Okay, so the outreach message is also the first thing we're going to send. The opener, there's a few specific things, right? So many people think their outreach message needs to be polished. You need like a paragraph. But there's a huge problem with this, right? You must ask a short question. Specifically, your messages must be short when outreaching. People go, but if it's a really short message, how am I going to convey what my offer is and why I'm here? Well, you're not going to. Remember, we need to get out of this mindset because we're in 2026 now. We need to get out of this mindset of, this is my offer, this is me, this is what I do, because no one cares anymore. There's so many offers out there. Think about it. There's so many offers out there. It's so saturated, right? So you must tailor your outreach towards that person. And the best way to do that, and it's crazy, it's a really good hack. It's got us to consistent 50% positive reply rates. With cold DMs, even on Instagram, that's practically unheard of. I genuinely think, not to gas ourselves up too much, but I genuinely think we have like one of the best reply rates in the whole of the industry right now. For cold DMs, for nothing else, but for cold DMs, we have consistent 50% positive reply rates. On a good, once or twice now this has happened as well, where we've had 70% reply rates. So it's nuts, guys. Like, it's crazy. So, like on here, so you must have a short question, right? Never say when you're outreaching to someone, yo, that's sick, bro, or that's crazy, man. Like, how did you do? The glazing is unnecessary. Don't do that. You ask one short question, and it is a curious question. That's the second thing. You have to sound curious. You have to sound like you care about their business and them, right? So you want to do a story outreach. As it says here, reply to active stories and highlights only. Because when you reply, let's say they've posted a result, you won't go, oh, that's sick, bro, or that's a crazy result. You will literally ask a short, curious question of like, what funnel did you use to get that result? And although it's short and it doesn't sound good, you're going to get such high reply rates because people love speaking about themselves and it's not salesy at all. But it's still enough of a trigger for them to respond because, like I said, people love to speak about themselves. So as long as it's contextual to the story you're replying to, they will see that message and they'll probably reply, especially if your Instagram profile is very optimized, they'll probably reply. And then pain question. So once we get a reply from doing that, we ask what we like to call a trap question. These are questions that not just reveal pain to us, but no matter the answer, we will always get some pain coming our way, which is what we want. We need leverage at the start of the conversation to understand the prospect situation and their pain point so we can latch on to that to create urgency around it, which will be the next step, which I'll show you in a second. But on this step, the second phase, the pain question, it must be a trap question. Questions will always have at least it will always have at least two answers, a question, like a yes or no kind of thing. A question will always have one of two answers. So we got to make sure that both of those answers is a trap, basically, right? Both of those answers will reveal pain to us. That's what a trap question is. That way we can ask just one question at the start of the conversation and boom, we understand their pain instantly. It sounds natural yet again, we sound friendly, but when we ask that question, boom, it reveals a lot, right? The reason we do this is so, like we said, we can latch onto one topic, ready for the next phase. And then phase 3 is the urgency. So this, guys, this is really where like you will either book a lot of calls or you'll book none. You'll always send a voice note on this stage specifically. You should really send voice notes on all of them because it sounds more human and it's more digestible, the messages you send. But especially on the urgency part, you have to send a voice note. It needs to sound so natural but so hard hitting, and it's a very hard thing to do at first, but once you understand how to do this and it lands properly for the prospect, boom, even majority of the time after this phase, a call gets booked in. So urgency gives prospects a reason to book in a call with us. No urgency? Why would they bother to speak to us then? Sorry for that mistake. Why would they bother speaking to us if they have no need to fix something? People always say, like, even like what we said, latch onto the pain, create pain. Yeah, but how do you create pain? You create pain by creating urgency. And how do you create urgency? Well, you create urgency by using their numbers. So if they're selling their offer for 3k USD up front, let's say, right? Then if even a few people drop off in their DMs, if they don't fix that, that could be another 2 or 3 clients every month that would have paid but didn't because they're dropping off and they're not fixing that bottleneck. Which means at their price point, 3k USD, they're losing out on 6 to 9k profit a month, or at least revenue a month. And you see how by using real numbers and real scenarios and situations that they are in, it creates that urgency. And then once that urgency is created, it creates a lot of pain around it because the pain is losing money. And it's normally one of two things, urgency, that you can flip a lever on. It's either time or it's money. Money is obviously the most effective one. You know, you're losing out on this much money, but time can also help as well. You know, you're wasting this amount of time or you're losing this amount of time. And when we create urgency after the pain question, because the pain question has set us up for the urgency, we now know their pain and we can latch on creating urgency around it. We become way more unique now because we're not, yet again, sorry for this spelling mistake. Yet again, we're not screaming down their throat, or, you know, we're not screaming in the DMs, this is our offer, this is what we sell. We are using their numbers, their situations, their scenarios, and we are creating so much pain and urgency around that. They have no choice but to find a solution to fix that thing. And of course, the way they'll find that solution is by booking a call with us, right? Which is exactly what we want. So when we create this overwhelming feeling, it makes them have to take action, and with that action being a call. Finally, to wrap it up, phase 4, brief solution. Now, we never give a full solution, right? As it says here, but remember, do not give out the whole solution, or else they no longer want a call with you. So we never give the whole solution, because if we then tell them how to fix that urgency, it's logical, they're not going to want to book a call with us then. Or there's less of a need to book a call with us then, because we've just given them the solution to that urgency we've just created in the DMs. So we can't give a solution, but we can give a brief solution. And the reason we give a brief solution is because we attach that solution to the call. So they've got all this urgency and all this pain we've created in the DMs for them now. We then briefly say a solution to show our expertise and to show that we are the way out. You know, if someone puts their hand on a stove and it's a really hot stove and it's burning their hand, and the only way out is for us to take their hand and lift it off, they will eventually beg us to take our hand and lift it off for them because it is hurting too much. And that's exactly the thing here. If we just show them, not give them the solution, but just show them that we have the solution, they'll want to book a call with us to fix this thing. So we do like a 1 to 2 sentence DM, just basically saying, you know, this is what you should be doing instead. Let's have a call to speak about that thing. And then all we're doing there is we're attaching the call to that brief solution to fix the urgency. And then before you know it, they're begging for us to send the link for a call. And if they're not begging for a call, then we can just ask for a call and they're most likely going to say yeah. And of course, once we've sent the link, they'll click on the link, book in a call, calls booked in DM system is successful. This very simple, non-salesy DM system, it's amazing. 40 to 50% reply rates, definitely 5-6% minimum booking rate. We've even gotten close to 10% booking rate with cold DMs, which is fucking insane, guys. I don't think you realize how good that is. This video's gone on for too long, so I'm not going to break down numbers a crazy amount, but if you just logically think about it, if you would send 100 DMs with this DM system, and I'm going to create another video on how to scale with this exact DM system, so watch out for that, because you've now got the knowledge of this DM system, you just need to learn how to scale it, which is great. Basically, if you send 100 DMs a day, and you're not doing anything either, your set is sending 100 DMs a day, even at a 5% booking rate, that's 5 calls a day, and you've not touched a single thing. With this one DM system, with just 2 or 3 setters training them up on this DM system, even at a shit 5% booking rate, that's 5 calls every day, fully qualified, ready for you to close at a high ticket price. So it's insane, guys. Like, it's actually insane. And now you're understanding more of how very quickly, in just the first 1.5 weeks, Daniel made almost 10k pounds, almost all profit, and how he's going to make 30-40k USD profit months with us minimum. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope this helped out a lot. There's going to be more videos like this, so subscribe to the channel. If you want us to specifically create this DM system every single stage for your exact offer, ICP, and business, and scale it up with setters as well, so you can book minimum 60 to 90 calls every single month, there is a link below to booking a call with us. If you don't want me to come into your business and install any of this or to scale you up further, completely fine, right? That's fine. And yeah, I'll either see you then or in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.